Yo, One Piece chapter 1167, titled Ida's Son. Ida's Son. I still don't know how to pronounce it, but either way, we're here for another One Piece chapter, capping off, seemingly ending volume 114, seeing now where volume 113 ends. It starts right at the Rocks part of the flashback, and now it ends on Rox's death. Probably gonna be my favorite volume in a very long time. But honestly, the omnibus, because this would be the end of the omnibus as well, that would probably be the most insane omnibus that's been released. Because just Elbaf coming up until the Loki flashback with the entire Rocks part, I mean, crazy. I need it right now, but obviously it's going to probably come in like 3 to 5 years. Either way, let's get right into the chapter. Finishing off God Valley, we're continuing on with Loki's flashback. So let's see. A cat is scolded for stealing a book, but Gen and Nojiko aren't mad because it reminds them of their little cat burglar Nami. That's so cute. Fish Encyclopedia. Doing some research on the all blue, I see. But yeah, let's see how I guess Loki's growth after the death of his hero Rocks. Where does his mind go? It goes to destruction, of course. Had a busy day, so I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to continue reading One Piece. Let's fucking go. I haven't seen anything on it. And look, we get a young Morgan's first thing. 33 years ago, 5 years after God Valley, a post-God Valley world. I could have sworn pirates were approaching off the shore. But there was something huge and shadowy emerging from the mist behind them. Okay. Interesting. Is he saying like, is this guy here talking about God Valley? What's he talking about here? Where is this? What's Morgan's doing? What's he interviewing about? The underwater prison impelled down from 33 years ago. Everything just went kaboom after that. Our ships, our ship was in ruin before we knew it. We were nothing but fish food. You sure it wasn't a Sea King attack? No way. It was human. It was shaped like a human. Okay. Okay. Interesting. So we have like seemingly pirates or marines, people that were on God Valley telling their side of the story. We got pirates who were in prison now put into Impel Down, right? Which, guessing how much they wanted to hide God Valley, it makes sense then that they would put all those people into Impel Down to hide the secrets, right? But our ship was in ruin before we knew we were nothing but fish food. You sure it wasn't a Sea King attack? No way it was shaped like a human. Are we saying it was Emu? Are we saying it was Uranus? What are we talking about here? I love this guy's design. Who is he? Don't tell me you were in the infamous waters of the Florian Triangle.
Ugh, fat chance. We don't fish near that region. Everyone knows to avoid it. Anyway, that monstrous thing was definitely human-like.
Okay. So we got some. We're talking about the Florian Triangle post God Valley. Now, the thing is, I had a theory, this was a long time ago, that God Valley was in. But, I mean, this might have not been, like, even. My point is, we knew that God Valley was in the West Blue. But the Florian Triangle is in the Grand Line, the first half of the Grand Line. So it didn't match that was the same place, right? But now, what is in the Florian Triangle that has connections? Does it have to do with Emu? Ah, no, don't tell me. Wait. When post-Thriller Bark, when we saw the figures in the Florian Triangle, I feel like we We didn't know, but I think recently people have assumed it was like the species of Zunisha. Like it's not just Zunisha that's a massive elephant. There's like a whole horde of them, and they're living in the Florian Triangle. And imagine how many elephants, stomping around would cause just chaos, so people don't go there. But we're seeing here a silhouette of a giant in the Florian Triangle. Let's see. During this period, a rumor began to circulate among the Grand Line countries. They saw a monster lurked deep in the foggy seas, targeting pirate crews. Interesting. So the Florian Triangle seems to be post God Valley. Oh shit, Harold, dude. Last chapter ended incredibly with Harold with the fucking ripping off the horns. And if that's the end of the volume, god damn it, dude. The identity of that monster was none other than Harold. Interesting. It's interesting because he's like us giants were not monsters, but then he's like taking out his anger on pirates in the Grand Line. The identity of that monster was none other than Harold. Few who sailed those waters had ever seen a giant with their own eyes. I mean, true, other than Dorian Broggy being in Little Garden, right? If they weren't in Little Garden, we wouldn't have seen giants until literally Ennie's Lobby. And they're only in Ennie's Lobby because they've been looking for Dorian Broggy. So really, there shouldn't be any giants in the first half of the Grand Line. Few who sailed those waters had ever seen a giant with their own eyes. So to them, he was nothing less than the very embodiment of fear. Harold now worked in the shadows to back up the Navy as part of his atonement for the last 1,000 years of history. Okay, so the Navy hired him to take out ships, and it kind of became known as the Florian Triangle. But that's interesting because isn't the Florian Triangle... I'm getting confused now. Is the Florian Triangle the same one as the triangle that goes between the gates of justice? The connection points, the seemingly the whirlpool? Is that what the Florian Triangle is? I want to just look this up. Florian Triangle. Because if it is the same, then that's interesting. Because he'd basically be guarding what are the gates of justice, right? Okay, let's just keep going. Meanwhile, the pirates who had gone their separate ways after God Valley continued to rise in prominence, and over the next decade or so, each of them would peak to become a defining face of their generation. We have Kaido with the mustache and the beard. We got Whitebeard in his prime. And we got Big Mom getting a little fat, just gaining some weight, having a lot of kids, making her army. Most of these pirates simply clashed over territory. We have an Ochoku with a scar. He actually looks kind of badass here, but still is giving Caribou. There's no fucking way that Caribou and Korobu are not his sons. And that's a fact. And then we got Shiki, who obviously had the largest fleet, as we know from Strong World and from Chapter 0. However, one crew broke through all the others and achieved a feat long believed impossible. They circumnavigated the entire world. I'm sorry, my reading's off today. I don't know what's going on. Let me lock in. The Roger Pirates. They were hailed as the crew of the King of the Pirates, Gold Roger. The public execution of the captured Pirate King was meant to serve as a spectacle, a display of the world government's power. However, and we got the whole crew partying it up. I love to see it. We got Crocus. We never got information about Roger's disease post God Valley. Huh. I wonder why. I mean, Oda doesn't feel like it's time, I guess, to share that information, but still, I think that's important. We also didn't get where the fuck Buggy came from. Where did Buggy come from? They revealed the official colors of Rocks. He has blue and white hair. Are you trying to tell me Buggy is not related? Now, there's a theory going around. I don't know how. There's a crazy theory. But basically, the theory is, and I don't know how I feel about this, but seeing the similarity between Buggy and Rocks, and seeing that we never actually saw Rox's death, the theory is that somehow Garling, let's say, killed or didn't kill Rox, brought him to Emu, and then Emu turned Rox into a baby and put a clown nose on him. Made an embarrassment out of him. But then somehow he is Buggy. Somehow Emu transformed Rox into Buggy. But then somehow Buggy got into Roger's crew, which I feel like Emu would not allow. I don't know. But that's a crazy theory. Because why the fuck does Buggy have a clown nose? Unless Rox, who doesn't feel like, I don't think Rox would cheat on his girl. Unless Rox had Buggy with some other clown lady at some point. But like, I don't, that's hard to believe. So either way, Buggy just appears out of nowhere. Who knows what the fuck's going on? The world was plunged into even greater turmoil as countless souls set out in pursuit of the vast treasure Roger left behind, the One Piece. No one had anticipated the advent of the Great Pirate Era. Navy headquarters found itself caught off guard as a result. More than 10 giants were drafted into the Marines from all over the world in an effort to consolidate strength. Okay. Obviously, John Giant being the first one, as we saw from... No, but then they said in Mother Caramel's flashback, Big Mom was a baby. She was small. And they already had, like, John Giant. So, that's interesting. But basically, is this like Harold kind of allowing the Giants to be drafted, or, you know? During this stretch of time, Harold waited on the Navy hand and foot. Did you see how huge he was? He's an ancient giant.
I want to make him my slave.
God damn, not the Celestials commenting on Harold, dude. And that very year, he was finally granted formal permission to visit the Holy Land after 5 years, and then how many years before that when he first met Rox, you know what I mean?
A shallow sea contract? That is correct. Consider yourself the right hand of the God's Knights. God's steel. It's a great honor.
It's sus, dude. They gave him the mark of the God's Knights. That's some satanic shit, Harold. Harold, you don't know what you're doing. Don't know what you're getting yourself into.
There are 3 levels of I don't know what voice to give to Gorosei. I always forget. I'm an old man. There are 3 levels of contract. The shallow sea contract is a more minor pact. The deep sea and deep sea contracts are reserved for those who are to be bound fully to the true God. Only 13 individuals in the entire world receive that privilege.
What do you mean by God? You already got the tattoo on you, bro. You can't back out now. Okay, so let's analyze this real quick. There's 3 levels of contract to Emu. And deep sea and deep sea contracts are reserved for those fully bound. Only 13 individuals receive that privilege. I feel like the Gorosei have the deep, deep sea contracts. So there's 5 of them. 13 minus 5, 18, or 8, sorry. 13 minus 5 is 8, which I think are the God's Knights. So the God's Knights probably have the deep sea contract. And then he has the shallow sea contract. Who knows how many people have the shallow sea contract? That feels like something Shanks had on his fucking arm that coincidentally got cut off, got bitten off by the Lord of the Coast. Coincidentally. I know what you're. Shanks knew what he was doing, alright? But okay, that would make sense. 8 plus 5 of these guys. You will only come to know the greatest depths of this world on the day you become a full knight of God. Could Elbaf become a member nation then? Naturally, Harold. At that point, the entire world would be clamoring to welcome you. I'm grateful for this opportunity to prove myself. He really became a slave, man. That's so sad, bro. But like how much destruction did Emu make Harold do before he killed him? I'm forgetting right now how many years after this he's killed. Like 20? Like 13? I'm forgetting. And he looks so angry in that photo, that painting of him. Like, obviously he's supposed to look stern and strong, but he looks angry. And I feel like his eyes are glared over, like in the painting of in the castle. Like the first time we see him without the horns, like I remember that was such a visual of Harold, because you're like the good king. Like bro looks mad as fuck. And he's probably mad as fuck because they made him do all kinds of fucked up shit. You know, he probably killed kids. I wouldn't be surprised if we see this guy wipe out entire islands by himself. Ooh, we get a little bit of a older. Oh shit! Look at middle-aged Garling and a young Shamrock. Okay. Yo, Garling's pissed that he doesn't have the immortality. You know. Bro is a mad dude. He's like, I could have looked young forever. Okay, so now Harold is going to the Gods' Knights. Interesting. The Knights Temple, Shangara, domain of the gods. Very Greek architecture. I like it. Captain of the Knights of God, Figurland family, Saint Garling. I love the fit. It's a fire fit, gotta say. What is the Great One planning? I need to remember to give him the southern accent. Fuck. What is the Great One planning? You're gonna obey us even though you're King of Elbaf? Of course. Just say the word. Yo, why does Garling kind of look like a Rayleigh here, though, dude? He kind of giving Rayleigh. And he got the glasses on already? Alright, differentiating his face from Shanks and Shamrock. That's what Shanks would look like with a beard? Okay. We'll keep a long-distance transponder snail on hand and call if we have need for you. You'll be free to travel the surface world, but you are forbidden to speak of our dealings. Understood. 20 years ago, Ryugu Kingdom, Fishman Island. Ooh. Ooh. So is this 13 years after? Let me just double check. We started at 33 years ago. So this is 13 years after. So this is like, bro's been doing shit for 13 years. Oh shit, he's with Neptune. Bro's buddy with Neptune, of course, man. Why wouldn't he be? Look how small Neptune looks next to Harold, dude. That's cute. Seeing the other races interacting like this while the humans are such pieces of shit, man.
Ho 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 ho! Bala ha 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 ha! I haven't laughed this hard in a long time, Neptune.
Me too, pal Jamon. We both have our fair share of headaches, don't we? Damn, look how fat fucking Neptune is. To be honest, I don't think your son is that bad deep down. Let's not forget what your youth was like. Damn, true, your bro knew about him.
Ah, well, when you put it like that.
I'm just being brutally honest. Anyway, did I tell you a fortune teller predicted I'd have a daughter in 4 years, Jamon? When the time is right, why don't we betroth Loki to my future daughter? Yo, Loki Shirahoshi marriage, bro? I'm down. That sounds sick. I mean, Loki's a little bit of a, 1,000-year-old dragon princess type of character, so I don't know how fucked up that age difference is. But I mean, shit.
Bala! Now you're going too far. Cut it out.
Hey, don't write her off so fast. Dude, fucking marrying off your unborn daughter, your negative 4 year unborn daughter is crazy, Neptune. Like, dude. Hey, don't write her off so fast. She's not gonna be just any old mermaid. My daughter might well be born with a power no one else could ever hope to handle, John. I don't like this. Because we don't know what kind of surveillance the God's Knights have on this. That Mark could be sending information. He might have a little transponder snail on him sending information the whole time to the God's Knights. You don't know this.
Well, now, that does sound like a perfect match. Let's have a toast. Here's to the futures of my mischievous troublemaker and your little Mosa.
Don't call her that. She won't be Shaggy. Some kind of a Japanese joke. Maybe calling her a moss ball or something, But okay, I mean, look, I'm down with Shirahoshi meeting Loki in the future didn't even cross my mind, but that's kind of cute. That's kind of, especially if Loki fucking wanted to marry Lola. Why would he not want to marry Shirahoshi? You know what I mean? And dude's trying to marry Lola just out of for no reason. Just out of his own, we don't know why. It's Lola, dude. It's crazy to think about now that we've seen Loki's design. Bro's in love with Lola. That same year, Owl Library, Elbaf.
Don't mention it. You're welcome to live freely here, Saul.
Thanks a bunch. Actually, there's one thing I'd like to ask.
What is it?
If we get other learned folks on Elbaf to help, would you be willing
to open a school here?
A school, huh? That's a nice idea. Okay, so Saul survived. He got to Elbaf. He's now living on Elbaf, and he's chill as fuck. Obviously, he was a vice admiral in the Navy, so that's connections with Harald as well. Seemingly, Harald not being surveilled, though. I'm kind of shocked. And also, specifically, Neptune not saying anything about Poseidon, which is good. Just saying she might have power. But I feel like at the same time, the Gorosei would know that, Fisher Tiger. Oh, dude. We get to see a little bit of the Fisher Tiger shit, dude. 15 years ago, a major incident occurred at the Holy Land of Marijoa. My slaves are running away. The cells are broken.
Hurry. Or do you want to be their pet forever?
We had Shamrock versus Fisher Tiger, and Fisher Tiger got away. Get fucked on, Figurelands. Get fucked on, dude. Yo, Figureland stock is going to the ground, bro. Oh my god. Yo, people have been shitting on Garling since God Valley. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, they wouldn't let Fisher Tiger get away, man.
Damn it! Is that a God's Night?
Listen, the armory will be left unlocked for you. I'll tell you the location. Or is that Shanks? Wait. Wait a minute. We're assuming it's... Oh, just fucking with us. We're assuming it's Shamrock. But it could be Shanks. Right place, right time, actually freeing the slaves. Yo. 15 years ago? Did he have... Fuck, man. What was he doing 15 years ago? Luffy was 8... 10 years ago? 9 years ago? 10 years ago? Fuck, man. Listen, the armory will be left unlocked for you. I'll tell you the location. Gah! Whoa! Gunpowder. Oh. Well, of course, if it's Boa Hancock, then why wouldn't Rayleigh send Shanks to fucking marry Joa? Hurry, big sis. Send her Sonia. There's someone out there. Someone fighting to free us from this hell. Oh, look at little Boa, dude. She looked way younger in the flashback, though, than this. Hurry, Koala. You have to run. The attack on the Holy Land was carried out by Fisher Tiger. In the wake of this incident, he would go on to become the captain of the Sun Pirates. Yeah, but someone helped him. The armory will be left unlocked. I'll tell you the location. Someone allowed it, and I think it was Shanks. But if it was Shamrock, that's crazy. Alright, dude, we're still going. Sounds like it was a pretty rough. They say someone with the government must have left the armory open for him. Now, it's up to us to find the culprit. I can't wait to execute him. There's someone I want to introduce you to, Harold. His name is Shanks. Excuse me? Huh? He's Shamrock's younger brother. They were separated a long time ago due to circumstances. He's suffered many hardships in the surface world. If he were to form a deep-sea contract, I believe he'd make a great asset, on par with Shamrock. For the time being, however, he's been given the rank of God's Steel, just like you. Ha! I know I said the same thing when I first met Shamrock too, but I can't shake the feeling that I've met you before. Oh my god, look at Shanks! He already has a scar! When the fuck did he get... Why is he... He's bandaged up right now, dude. When did Blackbeard give him the scar? I don't know what you're talking about. You're just some giant commoner from the surface. Don't act so familiar with me. I was blessed from birth with Figureland blood in my veins. I have no doubt I'm going to become a knight of God before you. Ugh, guess I mistook you for someone else. Come on, Shamrock. I wish to deepen my knowledge of the Holy Land, and I shall apprehend the traitor to claim the credit I deserve. Are there any leads? I can't wait till your wounds are fully healed, Shanks. You cannot fathom the anguish of having the last 24 years of your life wasted. No wonder the rest of the world seems so alien to me. God Steel Devotee Fingerland Family Saint Shanks. Knight of God Fingerland Family Saint Shamrock. Shanks came back to get a little bit of, ooh!
I hated everyone down there.
He didn't. He's lying. He's lying. That same year, the fishing village on Elbaf. It's no good. My medical knowledge is too limited. Let's call Harald and see if he can get us in touch with a more skilled doctor.
Don't. He's got a lot on his plate now.
What's the point of fostering a network with the world government if we don't use it? Oh, Ida's dying, dude. I can recover on my own.
You say that, but you're getting weaker by the day.
You have to get better. Harold will be heartbroken if you don't. Harold will be heartbroken if you don't, you know. Mato, keep the tavern open. No way! How can I when you're this sick, Ida? Whenever Harold's home, he always goes straight to the elders and begs them to allow you to illegally marry. That fool. He knows I'm happy with my tavern. I enjoy befriending sailors from all over the world. Damn, so Ida's sick, man. It's no good. My medical knowledge is too limited. I wonder if she has the same sickness as Roger. Or somebody, you know. It may not be much, but I feel like I'm helping Harold by doing that.
Hey, foreign hag.
What? Loki?
Cook this up. Cook up this meat for the old hag, will ya? The tavern's my main hangout spot. I want her to reopen it.
He's good at heart. Look, he got her some food.
Good grief, that troublemaker's grown out of hand. I'm glad you've been able to keep him in line. Even with Hajrudin and his friends away, looking for a doctor, your boys really love you.
So Hajrudin's out. I see Stanson, Rodo, Goldberg, and I'm blanking on her name. Gerd, got it. They're out looking for a doctor while Loki's getting food for Ida in the village. That's good. He cares about it. Calls her old hag, but he cares about it. Are they gonna find Hiraluk? Why do I think like Hiraluk's gonna be involved in some way? Because I've been like the whole God Valley flashback, the whole rock stuff. I feel like Hiraluk should have been there. I feel like he knew those people. But okay. So the new giant pirates have officially set sail. Everyone's blowing this out of proportion. I'll be fine. But it does make me smile. Oh, we're on a double page spread. I think this is the last page. My recording, I had to cut it for a sec to get a little extra out of it, but it is what it is. Elbaf, Alcohol Village, hometown of Loki's birth mother.
Huh? What'd you say? What'd you just say?
We were talking about how utterly unbearable it'd be to let that foreign bitch worm her way into the royal family. You're with us, right, Loki? We're Estrid's relatives. She was Harold's true wife. We can't let anyone have a claim on our inheritance. That's why I slipped her a dose of poison. This stuff is fatal. Her days are numbered. Fuck, man. Harold's away, and these motherfuckers kill off the person who raised Loki and Hajaruden. Do you know what this is going to do to Harold? What this is going to do to the country, you motherfucker? You alcoholic, inbred idiot. I want to say some slurs, but goddamn, dude. Mato, we can't hold off on ringing Harold anymore. Ronid, we may not be related by blood, but I see him the same way I do Hajaruden. Loki is still my cute little son. Ah, Loki, hey.
Ida isn't really gonna die, right? I still remember my birth mother. She hated me. She had me thrown into the realm of the dead. Who gives a shit about inheritance? Your whole family is nothing but trash. Now answer. Ida won't actually die, right? She's the only mother I've ever known.
Dude, that's fucking... The true feelings pour out. I bet you must get pretty lonely, right, Loki? Wouldn't it be better to stay with us? Dude, she always had a good heart. 1167, and no break seemingly next week. These motherfuckers killed Ida for what, man? For what reason? And he just murdered them all. He's right. Tear down the entire village, bro. Destroy it. Who need... Yeah, fucking alcohol village, absolutely, bro. And with the fucking... With his, like, Thor's hammer, with his Mjolnir. Oh, does it have a name? I forget what the name is. A part of me is shocked that Loki's not crying in this panel. But at the same time, he's just furious at even the concept that that's going to happen. He's not crying yet. He might cry when she actually dies. Seeing it through the bandages would be... But holy shit, Oda. How are you, like... I know One Piece doesn't kill people. That's the whole meme. Oda has a hard time killing people. But god damn it, man. When he kills people, is it not the most heart-wrenching, like meaningful moment? And that's what people were talking about with Rox's death, how just like it seemed so meaningless. The Morge's video was great about how like because there wasn't really like anyone to receive the will of Rox straight from him during his death. Roger and Garp were passed out. Whitebeard, Big Mom, and Kaido and all the other Rox pirates were gone. No one could hear him. And so he couldn't pass on those words. If anything, I feel like I actually do think Garp and Roger inherited Rox's will in a way. I do. But in different ways. In seeing what Rox was fighting, right? In seeing the true enemy that they should be going against. Roger wanted to find out the truth. Garp simply wanted to protect those who he felt could make a change. And it's like different paths, but it's kind of leading towards the same thing. Of course, the Monkey D's look raised Dragon, Luffy, Ace, which is obviously connected with Roger, who raised Shanks, which was a big inspiration. Roger himself, a big inspiration to Luffy. Creating Ace, right? It's all tied together. Since I have a little time, I want to actually go back to the Shanks stuff. I mean, incredible. So again, Rocks, not much emotion, but Ida's death, next chapter is going to be fucking, like, Harold's going to want to kill himself. Like, Harold, you gotta understand why Loki did this. Like, you're the only person who could truly understand why Loki fucking did this. Hajrun, you could be mad. You know, you're gone, you come back, your mother's dead, and Loki's pissed. And you're like, why didn't you do anything? Like, I get it. Not even why didn't you do anything. If he found out who did it, being like, your side of the family killed my mother, even though Loki feels it's their mother, like, it's, you know, the complexity is there. But now going back to this Shanks stuff, now that we know it's Shanks, Shanks has Griffin. He's got his sword. Shanks and Shamrock chilling. Shanks with bandages on his face, covering up the scar. Now, okay, doesn't mean, okay. Could mean a few things. Could mean a few things. Blackbeard's already on Whitebeard's ship at this point, right? I think so. Either way, no, he is, because I mean he was way younger when they got Odin. Yeah, of course he saw Blackbeard. Yeah, of course. Blackbeard could have already done this, actually scarred him, and he's actually healing in the process. 2, he's covering up the scar because it's like the most identifiable thing about him. Like, everyone knows that Roger had a red-haired kid with a scar on his face. You know what I mean? But he didn't have the scar back then. I'm trying to, like, remember every moment that we saw young Shanks. Did he have the scar when he got the gum? Fuck, dude. I need to look at my timeline. But either way, be it fresh or not, he's covering up the scar. And he's acting as if, like, do they know that he was on Roger's ship? I feel like this is intel they should know, but maybe they don't. And so they're just like, oh, bro was raised by some random family, like, on an island, and now he found out that he's a Garling. He's a Figureland. Not a Garling. He's a Figureland. So now he's here to, like, be a devotee. So now he got the tat. He got the Godsteel tat. Tell me Mihawk is up here. Tell me Mihawk is up here, dude. Okay, the Mihawk, I know I'm talking a lot. This is a long video. The Mihawk theories I subscribe to is either Rayleigh and Shocky's kid, which I don't think is possible. Unless he impregnated Shocky while he was still, like... Because, like, isn't Mihawk the same age? I have time, I can look this up. How old is Shanks? And then how old is Mihawk? Shanks right now is 39. Mihawk right now is 43. Bro is I didn't even know Mihawk's 4 years older than Shanks. That's crazy. I thought he was younger for some reason. I don't have much time, so I'm just gonna finish up this thought here. My recording cut off. Either Rayleigh and Shocky's son, Or, because of his eyes, Mihawk always made me think of Emu. Like, there's no way. And I'm pretty sure in the manga, he has red eyes. In the anime, he has gold circles. But I think in the digital coloring of the manga, he has red eyes. So that's like the official coloring. I don't know if I can find it quick here. But if that's the case, yeah, bro has red eyes. So I think Dracula Mihawk might be a Nerona. I think he might be a Nerona, if anything. I don't know if those are like the eyes of Mihawk or like the eyes of the family Nerona, or like, you know, it's just like, oh, Emu has these kind of eyes and Mihawk has these kind of eyes and they're not related in any way. It's just like a coincidence. But I feel like Mihawk might be a Nerona, and if that's the case, dude, Shanks and Mihawk meeting on Mary Joa? What if Mihawk's the son of one of the other gods knights? What if fucking Goat Skull dude is Mihawk's dad? And that's why we're covering up his face. Like, this is the kind of shit that we're at right now. Anyway, Shanks looking goated. Acting like... Dude's literally acting like he's Eren after the time skip with the long hair after the war, pretending that his shit got cut off with his bandages and long hair, and he's like, oh, I'm just a soldier. Like, bro, we know why you're here. You're here to jump scare Reiner. Anyway, nice long reaction. Went way over my time, but I mean, shit, it was a big chapter, and I was talking a lot, so a lot of stuff went down. Garling looking pretty good in his middle age. And then these tattoos, these contracts. We need to get more info on that. I want to see young Mihawk next chapter. I mean, I know bro was on the sea. Bro was on the sea when Roger died. Do his eyes somehow connect to Emu? Is there some kind of... Is Mihawk the way that Emu, like, has, like, a look on what's happening in the ocean? That'd be crazy if Mihawk was somehow connected with Emu. Because then it's like, he's like the first Shichibukai we met. The gears are turning. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Should have... No, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do an anime reaction. Because there was no episode last week. So... I'll see you whenever. Hopefully, the chapter next week. All right. Peace out. Bye.